Hello guys and welcome to this video. In today's video I'm going to teach you guys how you can create a custom register and login page for your website using the Forminator WordPress plugin, and then we're getting started with the video right away. So first and first we need to log into our WordPress admin dashboard, and then we can do so by coming to this section, and then we're just going to log into our dashboard. So while you're on your dashboard, you need to do one thing: come down to plugins and select add new. So right here we're going to search for Forminator, and this is the plugin we need. Over 3,000 active installation, and then it has been updated 2 weeks ago. So what we need to do is just click on install now, and when it has been installed you just need to activate the plugin. Alright, so the plugin has been installed and activated successfully. What we need to do is to come down to Forminator here. Now this is our dashboard where we can manage everything concerning this plugin. So as you can see, this plugin is just more than a form builder. You can also create polls with it, you can create quizzes with it, and it also has some other amazing features too. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to be teaching you how to create your login page, your login form, and then your sign up form. If you want me to make an in-depth tutorial on this plugin, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to make a video on it as soon as possible. So let's move on to creating our forms right now. So what we need to do now is to come down to this forms tab and click on create. Alright, so you're going to see the templates you have. You can either start with a blank template, or maybe you want to create a contact us page, quote request, and any other page you want to create. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're creating a register page. First we are going to create a register page first. So let's click on registration and then click on continue. And we're just going to leave this as it is. Okay, so this is where we're going to add any field we want and everything we want to show on our registration page. So we have these default fields here: your username, email, and password. You might want to ask for other details from your users. You can just come here, you can just select insert fields or this button here. So when you click on insert field, you can see other fields that you can add to your registration page. So let's say you want to request for their name, you want to request for their phone number, address, website, or any other thing you want to ask for. You can just input it there, and then you can get the details from your users. But I feel for a basic website, the username, the email, and password is enough. But for some people, you might need to request for their name. So let's just add in the name field there. So insert field. Alright, before we edit the field, let's do one thing. As you can see, the name is at the bottom, which is not supposed to be so. So we're just going to drag the name to the top. Alright, so this is looking good now. So check how your form is going to look like in the front end. If you see this preview icon here, you can just click on it, and then this is how the form is going to look like in the front end. Okay, so let's close that right now, and now let's start editing the fields one by one. So for the name field, you can just click on this settings icon here and click on edit field. Alright, you can either change the label, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to leave it as name. It is okay like this. Okay, first thing first, you can either request for a single name or request for multiple names. So under multiple, you can ask for the prefix, something like Mr. or Mrs. or Miss or anything like that, and then request for their first name, middle name, and last name. Also, you can decide to remove some. If, let's say, you don't need their prefix, you can just request for the first name, middle name, and last name. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to be using single. Alright, so for the placeholder, I'm going to change the placeholder to something like the THEWPBRO. And also for the description, you can add a description like your legal name here. So let's see how this look like now. So we're going to click on preview, and then you can see it's here the placeholder has changed, and then the description is there, also your legal name here. So that is how you can use those features. So let's come back to the field and edit it. Moving on to settings, you can either make it required or optional. So I believe everybody will make it optional on their website depending on whatever you need it for. So I'm just going to make it required. Oh, did I say optional? A name field is supposed to be required. It depends on your personal description. So moving on, if they try to leave this field without filling in their name, it's going to bring out this error message: name is required. So you can also customize that to whatever you want it to be. So moving on to the styling, you can add classes here. This is some sort of advanced level. You don't really need this now, as this is a basic tutorial. You can add your classes there and then edit it later on through your own custom CSS codes. Now moving on to visibility 2. This is also some level of advanced type of forms, but this is just going to set some certain conditions for the visibility of each of the fields in the form. So like I said, this is some sort of advanced level. If you really want to learn how this work, you can also tell me down in the comment section down below, and then I'll be sure to release another video that is going to teach you everything that this Forminator plugin provides for you. So we're just going to click on apply, and then the name field is done. So you can just do the same for each and every of the fields there. Edit username, so you can change the placeholder, you can change the description, you can create a default value, and then you can move on to settings. It is required, you can enter your required message here. All right, so you can set the maximum characters. By default, the user can enter as many characters as they want, so I'll advise you to leave it as it is now. And then also, this is the advanced level. You can just move on to the next one, styling. Like I said earlier, if you want to add your custom CSS file, and then also the visibility, so we can just click on apply. So moving on to the email, edit field. So e.g., you can just change this to something better. Let's say support@THEWPBRO.com. all right, so you can add the description there also, and then you can also check the settings. All right, so if the email is not correct, you can add the validation message here that this is not a valid email, and you can also you can change this, or you can leave it as it is. Okay, moving on. Okay, we have the styling, visibility, and then I've talked about that earlier on, so you can just click on apply, and then every other field is ready. Moving on to the next, we're going to check the appearance section. All right, so you can either change the design style from default to flat to bold to material and then to none. But for my own field, I do leave them as default, and I feel that is okay for anybody else. You should preview it. The default is really cool, and then I'm fine with the design of everything. Now moving on to the colors, you can either use the default colors or add your own custom color. So when you choose custom, you can actually change the color for every of the elements in your form. So let me just change the color for the submit button. If you preview right now, we have color blue as the submit button color. So what you can just do is to select this, and then let's change it to this color right here. For the overall, we're going to change it to this, and then for the focus, we're going to change it to this also. And if you should preview, as you can see, we've been able to change the color for the button here. So you can just play around with the settings to find out the perfect one for you. Also, same thing with the fonts. You can change the fonts for each and every of the labels here, but have it in mind that it is advisable for you to use just 1 or 2 fonts on your website, so as to reduce the request that your website is going to make to the server before it will be able to render every font you're using on your website. All right, so I'm just going to change one. For the fuse label, you can either change it. For the default one is at Roboto. What I always do with my forms is that I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and then click on custom user fonts, and then I like using DM Sans, and I'm going to change the font size to about 16. So if you preview right now, it is looking much more better. So you can just play around with the settings here also to find out the perfect customization appearance for your form. So moving on to the form container. All right, so you can either add padding, border, or spacing to your form. I do leave everything as default. I don't touch anything here, but if you want to play around with the settings here, you can add padding to it, or you can add a little bit of border or spacing to your form. And also, this is for the custom CSS. Let's say you've added a class earlier on, you can activate this and add your custom CSS here. So moving on to the next section, it says user registration. All right, for the default meta keys, the username is okay, text, email is email, and then everything is working fine. Moving on to the next one, it says user role. So you can assign a fixed role for all your users, which is the subscriber. For WordPress, they are called subscribers. Or you can assign role conditionally depending on the type of fields you've added earlier on when you're creating your fields for the custom registration page. So let's say you added a checkbox. Maybe this registration page is for people that want to become a user, a normal user on your website, and some people that want to become an editor on your website. So let's say you added a checkbox. Okay, let's even do that right now. Let me just show you how this works. So let's go back to field, and then let's insert field, and let's use checkbox, and then insert field. All right, so option 1 is going to be user. Let's just say user, and option 2 is going to be author. Let's use author. And then what row do you want? What row do you want? All right, so settings should be required. Please check an option, and then layout is vertical. Every other thing is looking good, and then let's apply. So let's drag this here. So if you preview our font now, we're going to see another field there. So let me now show you how the conditional role assignment works. So if you now want to assign a role conditionally, so you can just come here and say the plugin should give the user an editor, an author role if what role you want is author. So when someone is creating an account on our website and the person ticks author, they will be automatically assigned to the role of an author on your website. So that is what this feature does in this plugin. So moving on, you can add your custom metadata, and I'm not going to talk about that in this tutorial. So moving on to the user account activation, this is a very important feature from this plugin. So you can either leave it at default, which I don't recommend, but the one I recommend is email activation, because this helps you reduce the number of spam accounts that can bots that want to create accounts on your website, because they won't be able to verify their accounts through the activation email you're going to send, because they are bots that are just trying to get access to your website. So it's going to reduce the number of spam registration on your website. And you can either choose manual approval too if you want your approval process to be strict. So we're just going to use email activation. And where do you want to redirect people to when they click on the confirmation link? So you can just input your own page here. For this website, I don't have any other page apart from this sample page. That is why you can only see sample page here. So what we can just do is to let's say you have a dashboard, or maybe you want to redirect them to the home page, or maybe a custom page to appreciate them for signing up on your website, or maybe any other page you have in mind. You can just put it here, and then they'll be redirected there whenever they confirm their email. Okay, so it says activation email. By default, WordPress sends an activation email containing user account information after the account activation. You can choose not to send this email. So for my own case, I don't really leave this as default. I choose none, because I don't want WordPress to send the email, because this plugin is also going to send the same email to your user. All right, so additional settings. Automatically log in newly activated user. So this is very important. They don't really need to sign up to log in again, since they've already created an account just now, so they just have to log in automatically. So check this. All right, so it says hide the form if a user is already logged in. So this if you should check this feature, is going to hide this form, so that when a user is logged in, they will be able to just go to their dashboard, and then they will try to log in again, just to make sure everything is working for your website. So what you can just do, and what I always do on my website, is that I'm going to add a custom message here. It says you are logged in. You can just do something like visit your you can just say visit your dashboard, and then this dashboard, you're going to make it a link. So we're going to highlight the dashboard, and then click on this insert link, and then we're just going to type in the home page, since I don't have a dashboard on these websites. So we're just going to input that, so it's going to be easy for them to to go back to their dashboard. Now moving on, let's go to behavior. Okay, so after submission, what do you want this to do? Okay, so it says account registration successful, click here to log into your account. Let's edit the behavior. All right, it says account registration successful, please check your email inbox to activate your new account. That is because we selected the email activation method when if you should remember just now what we did. All right, so we can just leave this as it is, and then other settings also is good. This I don't really touch anything. I want it to be I want the form to load with the Ajax method. All right, everything is working fine. You can also decide to check this, or you can leave it unchecked. Okay, I like to turn on this feature, enable honeypot protection. Enabling this feature tricks spam bots by giving them a hidden challenge, blah blah blah. So this is a security feature. All right, so we don't want to log this down to logged in submission only, because we want people that are not users on our website to register. And also the lifespan for this form should be none. We don't want it to expire, because our website is going to be live, and then we want new users every day. So moving on to rendering, it says load form using Ajax. Turn this on, and also turn this on too. Now moving on to the email notification. When someone signs up on your website, it's going to send two emails. It's going to send one email to the admin, and it's going to send the confirmation email to the user. So you can edit the confirmation email here, and it says, dear username, thank you for signing up, click on the link and activate your account, blah blah blah. So you can leave it as it is, or you can edit it depending on your choice. All right, so moving on to the integration, you can also integrate different third-party apps to this plugin, like Google Sheets, MailChimp, and other applications like that. So moving on to the last part, it says settings, store submission in database, leave it as it is, leave everything as it is here, and then click on publish. All right, so we've published our form, and then we're ready to input it on our WordPress website. And let's go back to the top and click on this plus icon here to create a new form. Now we're going to create our login page. This is very simple and straightforward, so just click on create. All right, so we just need the username or email address and password. Everything is fine as it is. We can edit them. You can edit the label, you can edit the placeholder. I would like to leave everything as it is. I don't really touch anything here. Moving on to appearance, let's leave everything as it is. User login. All right, so other user login, form field mapping should be text, and this should be password. All right, so the remember me field, choose whether to show remember me field in your form. This option we had the remember me checkbox before the submit button. So we're going to show this, and then we're going to remember each user for. You can decide to set it. Maybe you can use days, maybe for 2 days. You can use weeks, you can use months, and you can use years. So I'm just going to leave it at 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, you have to log in again. Now it says hide this form if the user is already logged in. All right, so you can just hide the form also. I would advise you to leave this checked. Now moving on to the behavior. Okay, so after submission, after logging in successfully, where should they be redirected to? So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to edit, and then they're going to be redirected to the home page on my website. You can redirect them anywhere you want, maybe to their dashboard or anywhere you want to redirect them to. And also you can choose to redirect on same tab, or you can choose to redirect on new tab and show intake message on the form page, or you can redirect on a new tab and hide the form on the form page. So we're going to just leave it as redirect on the same tab and click on apply. Now moving on to the method, we're going to leave it at Ajax. Validation on submits, submission indicator, we're going to leave it as submitting. Also you can enable autofill if you want, and I'm going to enable honeypot protection. Expiry none, and I'm going to check this and check this. Moving on to email notification, we don't really need to send an email for login. So moving on to the integrations, you can also add the third-party apps you want here, like I said earlier. And then moving on to settings, we're going to leave everything as it is, and then we're going to click on publish. So we've successfully created our forms, and then we're ready to create our pages. Now cancel these and then come down to pages and select add new. So I feel it's very important for me to say it at this point. This plugin is not going to edit the default register and login page for WordPress, but it's just going to create another one that people can use, and then you can just set up redirects from the default WordPress login and register page to the new page you want to use for your users on your website. So having known that, let's just click on cancel and then let's create register. Okay, so what we're just going to do now is that we're going to add a block. So click on this plus icon here and then let's click on browser. So scroll down to the bottom and then you're going to see this form here. So click on it and then we're going to choose our registration form because this is the register page. So if you want to learn how to create a custom register page using Elementor, you can drop a link down in the drop a comment in the comment section down below, and then let me know whether you're interested in learning how to create a custom login and register page using Elementor. And you can do one thing, you can come down to my website here and then let's search for templates as templates.thewpbro.com, and then here you can get access to my free templates. I think I have a login and register page template here, so you can get access to this template and use it for free on your website. So this is what you're going to be getting, and then you can create your login and register page using Elementor right away. So moving on, what we're just going to do now is that we're going to click on updates. All right, the page has been updated. Now go back and then let's click let's create another page for login. So we're just going to call this login, and then we're going to search for forms, and then we're going to choose login, and then we're going to save this page also, publish. All right, so the page has been published live. So what we can do now is that we can add it to our header. So we can just come down to appearance and click on menu. So we're going to create a menu called, let's just name it primary. It doesn't matter whatever you use. So it's going to be our menu for the header. So I'm not really familiar with this theme, so I'm just going to, I think it's going to be desktop horizontal menu. So let's just create menu depending on the theme you're using. So just follow the process for your own theme. So we're just going to add register and login and add them to the menu and then save menu. So by the time we check our websites, all right, so you can see we have the links here in our header. So you can either log in. Okay, it says you're already logged in. So let's open this in an incognito mode. So this is the login page and this is the register page. And let's click on register. All right, so this is the register page. So yeah, here you have it, guys. This is how you can create a custom login and register page for your website using the Forminator WordPress plugin. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a like. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe for more content. And also, if you need templates, don't forget to visit my website, templates.thewpbro.com. The link will be down in the description below for you to get your templates for free. And also, just stay cool and keep creating awesome websites. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.